my Cheap Joe's apron. I taught at Cheap Joe's several times and got to know him, and he's passed away. And I dedicate this event to him. He's a treasure of a man, and I feel sad for anyone who didn't get a chance to meet him because he was such a gift. He was human to the point of being totally vulnerable and also being strong as an ox. He was amazing. And he was kind and generous and a gift. So this is for you, Joe. I'll be good. So I gotta figure out, right here. There we go. I hope they do. I hope they do. That's a good question. When I hear what I've done, I think, whoa, did I ever sleep? But I know that upon occasion I did sleep. And I've had a great life. I've been really, really lucky to do what everybody dreams of, just getting time to do in the weekend. I was lucky to get paid to teach what I love. So I got a little watery when you read all that. My God, you don't think about it when you're home and you're just sitting there. I'm going to show you some of my techniques. I'm going to tell you way too much about me and everything else, so just bear with me. I'm now in Canada. I live in Canada full-time with an amazing husband who I married 5 years ago, August 18th. We just had an anniversary, and he's a Canadian gentleman. We live on the shores of Lake Superior. It's the most inspiring place I've ever lived. I look out the window and I see the lake, the trees, the islands ahead of me. To sound a little like Sarah Palin, I can see Isle Royale from my porch. It's just amazing. So I'm very, very blessed. In teaching, I think teaching is more about sharing as much as we know as we possibly can. And I've got to tell you, for all of us who have bemoaned the fact that we don't have watercolor or art supply stores near us, I have discovered dollar stores and Dollarama and all of the different it's a generic thing. I go to any dollar store just to look for art supplies. I'm finding things, so I'm going to pass these around, that are absolutely fabulous. $5, and these brushes, we'll open them for the workshop, this is $1.75. And I'm painting now a lot of the time with acrylics that I actually didn't bring, but there'll be some present for me tomorrow that I'll be using. But I'm using acrylics that are pretty rough on brushes, so I'm trying not to use my best brushes with the materials I'm using. So these dollar store brushes have saved me a lot of money and a lot of tears over the good brushes that I use for my watercolors. So I just want to tell you about that, and they are also creating something brand new, or not creating, making and selling something brand new. They're making the wooden cradle boards for like $4 each, which is sincerely about $15 cheaper than you'll find them almost anywhere else. They're not as thick, but they work beautifully. So I'm just showing you because that's part of what I do in my life, is to share what I've learned and experienced. We're going to be talking also a little bit about making brushes, because I love effects that aren't tight and controlled. I love to have control in a piece of work, but I also want a looseness and a generally free part of the painting. These are rubber bands that have just been rubber banded to a chopstick. Don't throw away chopsticks when you go to the Chinese restaurant. Save every one. This happens to be raffia, and this is more raffia. Ooh, this one came off, but I hate glue, but it will work. It'll work. And these are things that I can wet, run into my palette, and then drag across. If you're a realistic painter, don't say, well, what would I do with that? I'm a realistic painter. Brushes where you can control maybe the number of pieces of marker you can make those, just 3-4 pieces. You can do grasses and branches and foliage and brush. You can do do all sorts of things. Even this brush created not long ago, I'm painting realistically now, a little, and it created some things that, can you see that? Yeah. That it created some marvelous lines of rain. I took it in a very white diluted paint and just kind of dragged it across. And I thought, oh, I ruined it. And then I blotted it up a little bit. It looked like rain falling, you know. And you can do that with a couple pins if you don't want to handle it. This is a mistake. This product was made for some sort of pillows. Let me tell you how this happened. About, 150 years ago? No, seems like it. Maxine Masterfield was teaching a workshop, and she taught us how to use cheesecloth. Yeah. And cheesecloth has a very mechanical thread pattern, and those fiber people know what those words are, but the warp and the that's it. And so the company that made them didn't know what to do with this. It was pillow stuffing, and it just turned into wads. I mean, you can see it kind of wants to do its own thing anyway. And it was a failure. And they have people in companies like that spend a lot of hours trying to figure out how to use something that was a failure. Post-its are one of the examples of that particular thing. This is an example of a Post-it solution. They sell it as Halloween cobwebs. It will harm, you spread it across your bushes, and you make it look like you've got spiders. And it comes with even spiders in it, I'm sure. Some 6-year-old will. I guess they're gone. Anyway, so they developed this, didn't know what to do with it. They said, okay, Halloween decorations. But I beg you not to use it for that, because birds become entangled in it, especially hummingbirds it's not pretty. So, well, that was a mistake. But I have the magic cure for things that don't come off your hands.
When you do pouring acrylics, you put something in it. Floetrol.
Floetrol would work sometimes, yes.
You put that in when you mix it, when you do the painting.
An oil painter taught me this. We all need oil painters in our lives. If you're painting a lot and you don't have a sink right next to you, use baby wipes. They will take that off quickly, and they will get rid of stains on your hands and on hard surfaces, like your brand new granite in the kitchen. That was a delight. So, and now I'm just going to let it dry. Yep, I've got drips, but I think I want a few more drips over here, so I'm going to turn it this way. So it'll stay permanently. And these don't have, I'm going to tell you now, they don't have to be framed under glass when you're done sometimes. Because I'm using, and this is another one. This is on arches, and this is another iris. I happen to really love iris. Although where I am, it's too cold to almost get a decent iris to grow. But that's an iris collage with a little note in it, and you'll be able to see that. There, you can pass that back to her if you want. The idea that all paintings are sacred, once it's a square and it's painted on, it's sacred. You can't do anything. That's wrong. You can cut it up and do collage. You can cut it up and do other collage, which I've got in the bag, 4 or 5 of them, 6. I see 5. You can do that. You can do almost anything that you want to make art. But sometimes it's time to paint, and sometimes it's time to just think about and maybe keep your collage materials close and up anyway so you can all see. Now, probably not a good idea to drop it, but look at what happened while we were talking. Its pattern is there, it's ready to go, but I highly recommend, because we're using this, what I do, I save them. I'm not going to today, but I do save them. I have a friend who makes dolls, and she sprays them with the varnish when they're done, but she uses these for hairs for her clowns. Hair for the clowns. Hairs, what is that? So, and this is why you keep the baby wipes going. And I didn't, like I said, an oil painter taught me that. And she said, even when you're using turpentine and oil and you're stained and your hand's a mess. And I buy these by the, by the 3, 4, 6 packs, and it works. So now I'm going to clean my hands and show you a couple things. Sometimes these aren't things that are critical in life, and we'll just have to figure out a way to work around it. I brought 2 things, clear scotch tape, but I think it's too strong. But I wondered, I still am thinking, if I want to put it down and I don't want to hurt it, what if I, put it down the way we did before and lifted it up and then try to cut the shapes and build the shapes? I don't know. I'm going to try a lot of things and we'll see what works. With experimental art, it really is non-traditional. And I'll show you how non-traditional with just one more piece, and then I'm going to let you all go. He said, I don't know. So I said, well, we're spraying. Why don't we try rice and beans and spaghetti? And this is spaghetti, and this is rice and beans, and we came in with pencils and did it. We called it Fiesta. He did a big painting. It was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And I've never been able to take it because he's doing those. He is back in Mexico. And when you go to Mexico and see the rice and bean paintings that are called Fiesta, it's a Fiesta series. That's his. So.
And that was done on UPO?
This is done on regular paper, and it's sprayed pigment. Yeah.
Regular watercolor paper?
Yes, Arches. Arches is my go-to because I worked with Cheap Joe, and he gave me a lot of Arches, just gave it to me. So you take it, you want.
You know Susanna Winton?
I've heard her name, and I think I met her.
She's a wonderful realist portrait.
Yeah.
She was a good friend of his.
Yeah, I think I met her through him, yeah. So he was a great man. I keep saying that.
Yes, lots of pictures taken with him. She has them on Facebook.
Yeah. A lot of us. I couldn't even look at them. I haven't been ready to do that yet. So, anyway, so spaghetti. You can take and drop anything you want. Flowers, spaghetti, rice and beans. He opened a whole new world to me. I'll never forget him.
And you just dropped it on the water, get the watercolor?
We just put the rice and beans, they were actually arranged.
Okay.
Put them down, and then we sprayed. And when you spray, they keep the color, and you don't ever eat them. So that's rice and beans. There you go.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So, thank you all so much. Yeah. I think this will be my last workshop tomorrow, but I'm teaching them online too, and I don't like it because you can't see the people's faces. You don't know how they're reacting, and I just don't feel I'm trying. But at any rate, thank you all so much. If you didn't get a card to contact me, or if you just Google my name and Google images, you'll find a lot of images online.